YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here. Forgot to switch over my broadcaster screen, so there we go. And I'm going to be making some videos here before the coming of Attila. So just wanted to make some tips videos for those who are going to play Rome Total War. There's it seems like a lot of people continue buying Total War games even after they're kind of out of their prime time. And Rome 2 is about to, I wouldn't say be out, but with Attila coming out, a lot of people are going to probably migrate there. There'll still be people playing this game, and I just wanted to go through and give you some tips. So if you're a new player and you've never played the game before, you probably have a lot of questions, or even if you've been playing the game for a while, maybe you haven't noticed some of these things. It's stuff that we should cover. So let's go into this battle interface. So these are some settings. So if you go into the menu, go to the battle interface settings. Some of you always ask me about different things, like how do you get the unit flags, or whatever. So if you like the big unit flags to help you see where things are at, leave it on always. If you only want to see it when your mouse is on it, mouse over, and if you hate them, just turn it off. There's selection markers, path markers, target zones, projectile trails, help markers, unit card man count, left click unit drag, unit tool tips. So let me tell you what each of these are real quick. So selection markers shows which units are selected. I would recommend having it on. Path markers shows you which how they're where they're walking, especially if you hold down the space bar. Target zones shows a unit's area of fire, and so I would recommend leaving all these on again. Projectile trails, if you don't like the unrealism of seeing little white trails where arrows or slings are going, that's fine. Turn this off if you want it to be more realistic, but it helps you see. Help markers can show you different things, like where ships, like it says here, ships disembark, where artillery can be deployed, all that kind of stuff. Unit card man count, this shows you the number of men left in each unit on the unit card. And then left click drag unit, I would suggest for most of you to turn this on. Later, if you decide you don't like it, you can turn it off. Anyway, that's the settings that I have. I would recommend this if you're new. They're going to work pretty good. As far as any other settings, you can change keyboard settings all you want. None of that really matters, but let me show you the settings that I'm on, just so in case you want to copy what I'm doing, you can do that. So if you go to the control settings, I have it set to standard camera. It's set to classic Total War. So again, if you're just wondering what my settings are, that's what it is. I should probably speed those up, but if you're new, you can just leave it alone. Anyway, that's that. So let's go through some basic battle movements real quick, and I'm just going to throw together a little army here because it doesn't matter. I'm going to just get some different units. Let's actually get some different types of units. Or get a couple of infantry units, a couple of missile units. Throw a spear unit, some cav. Alright. And then Parthia's got to have an army as well, so whatever, I'll just put some troops out there for him. Alright, so let's go in here and let me demonstrate some just basic movement orders. Different ways to move your troops. Again, this is very beginner stuff, so if this isn't for you, that's fine, but I've been requested to make this video, and hopefully it's something that people can link to and use if needed. So the easiest way to select troops, well, there's a couple of ways to select troops, and let's just go over the camera movement. First of all, you can mouse up to the top to move your camera forward, to the bottom to move it back, turn left, turn right. So you can do that by taking your mouse to the edges of the screen. You can also use the W, A, S, and D keys to move this like strafing movement on the camera. Q and E do the rotations on the camera. Z and X zooms out. Now, if you're using a mouse, you can use your scroll wheel to zoom in and out as well. I find that to be easier, generally speaking. If you click and hold your scroll wheel down and then move the mouse, it gives you a free camera, so you can pan around like this, if that makes sense. N allows you to zoom in with the camera, and then of course you can just move to the edge of the screen and it'll knock you out of the zoom mode. Hopefully all that makes sense. That's kind of some basic camera movement. You're going to need to know that. If you want to move quicker across the battle map, like so say for instance you want to move over and see enemy troops, see how it's kind of slow, you can hold the shift key and the strafe or to the top of the screen, either one, and it helps you move faster. And of course you saw the option where you can increase your movement and rotation speed. It works on rotations as well. Holding shift will make you, well, I don't know that it makes it rotate faster, but it definitely helps you move faster. If you want to move to a place on the battle map, this down here is your battle tactical map, what I'm circling with my mouse. You can double click at any point on it and it moves you to that point. And so that's one easy way. If you want to go to a unit, you can just double click that unit and it goes to it. A single click just selects the unit, double click takes you to it. Those are some basic movements, how to get around essentially. Now let's talk about deploying your troops here in the deployment screen. You can select troops by left clicking and dragging a box over what you want. Or you can just click a unit with a left click. When you have a unit selected, if you want to move it somewhere, just do a right click. If you want to change the direction or the formation that it's in, right click and drag. And see here it shows you which way you're facing. You can drag around, make it thinner, wider, whatever you want. If you want to do that with multiple units, see, left click and drag a box around the units you want. You can drag out multiple units. Again, any way you want to go. Doesn't matter. If you want to select multiples but you don't want to do it with the box, you can hold the control key and select which units you want. See? From the unit cards there. You can do the same thing actually on the screen, holding control. Alright. Let's say that I want to select all the units of one type. If I hold control and double left click the Hastati, it will select all Hastati. Hold control, double left click auxiliary archers, selects all auxiliary archers. So all of the same type, that will work. There's other quick keys. If you want your cavalry, control C. Your missiles, control M. Infantry, control I. So those are kind of some quick ways of moving around to the different infantry. Deploying on the deployment screen, you can, again, through the different methods I've shown you, select your troops. You can put them into whatever formation you want. Or, if you want to create your own formation, that's the way to go. If you want to have the computer do one for you, and let's say that you want to do it with your whole army, you can select this. This right here is your group commands, and if you go here into, I don't know, wait, this is where we're going to go. So formations. So let's say that you want the triplex ACs. Let's say that you want a simplex ACs. So again, these are preset formations, sorted single line. I mean, you can use these. I don't typically use these, but if you want to, feel free. Column, in case you want to get killed. Yeah, so just different things you can try. You'll notice though that it's put your men in a group here. That's what this this number and this padlock means. This is a locked group. So if I move these guys, they move as a group now. But in this case, you can see that because we assigned them that formation, I can right click and drag them, and they'll stay in that formation. I can just change their unit width. See that? And if you want to ungroup units while you have that group selected, just hit G, and the group goes away. If you want to create a group, press G. If you want to number it a certain one, just press like Control 5. It's Group 5, Control 4. See that? If you want to get rid of that group again, G. If you want to make a locked group like we did earlier, Control G. And locked groups move a little bit different, I'll show that. But anyway, that's how you can deploy on the deployment screen. So now let's talk basic movement orders once the battle started. So earlier I said on that on the battle screen, or on the option screen, that there was a left click and drag option. And you can turn this off if you don't like it, but Rome 2 added this. When you mouse over a unit, you can left click it and drag it to where you want. See that? How it shows you where the unit's going to go in yellow? So this is an easy way to move units without having to create groups. So let's say that I don't want to do this at all, but maybe I want to move my whole army together. I don't want them grouped anymore. So let's say I don't have a group, but I want to move my whole army together. You can just simply select them all, left click and drag, and see it takes the whole formation. Well, Heir, what if I want them to change directions? While you're holding the left click and drag, push the control key and hold it, and you can move the mouse back and forth to change the direction that they face. So let's take a look at what happens when they move in this manner. Yes, Commander. Everybody is immediately given a run order. So you'll see your cavalry runs faster than your infantry, your archers and stuff would run faster than your infantry as well. So this is fine. It's a way to move your unit and keep their formation, but your men will kind of run over each other. Well, Heir, I want to move my guys and have them actually stay in the formation when they're going. Okay, well to do that, you need to push that Control G, go back into a locked formation. You can then right click and drag, and your men will stay in formation as they move. At least they should. They're not doing it right now. The cavalry are still running over everything. I'm not sure why they did that. Normally the cavalry should stay in position.
Advance at speed.
Yeah, this time they're going to do it. Maybe it's because the move was so close, they just let the cavalry run ahead. But see how the cavalry are going to walk automatically and let the infantry get out in front, and they will actually kind of stay in their formation as they move. So that's by using a control group, or a hard group, whatever you want to call it. So that's two ways to move groups of units. You can use the left click and drag on individual units as much as you want. Or if you just want, you can select a unit and double right click and it will run, single right click and it will walk. Or you can left or right click and drag into whatever formation and direction. If you just left click and drag, the default is run. If you hold control and right click and drag, the default is walk. If you want to stop a unit from moving, push the backspace key. If you want a unit to do an about face, push the J key. So those are just some simple controls for moving your guys around. Hopefully it makes sense. You should practice with it. Get used to it. Being able to move your army around the battlefield effectively is a big deal. So I'm trying to think if there's any other important movements. If you want to use the run button, it's down here. Here's your halt button. Your group buttons are all down here. Or you can use the hotkeys. So all those things are things that you're able to do. So that should give you just kind of a basic rundown on how to move your troops. So hopefully that works out for you. I'll be back soon, and I'm going to make another video about the different formations and abilities and whether or not they work and when you should use them or not use them. This was mainly just so that you could learn how to move on the battlefield, though there are the last couple of things I should show you. So I'm going to move my groups up. I forgot to show you the one piece, which is attack orders. I've showed you how to move your troops. Now I just need to show you how to do the attack orders. Also, you can push the tab key and it gives you an overhead view of the battlefield, and let go of the tab key and it comes back down. So that's another option you have. So let's say that I want to attack the Parthians who are ahead of me. There's a couple of different ways you can do this. You can issue single attack orders. So I'm going to pause it and show you. You can issue single attack orders. If you want your men to walk and then run when they get close to the target, just do a single right click. They will walk, and then when they get close enough to charge, they'll do a charge. So you can do this if maybe there's a long closing distance between you and your opponent and you don't want your men to get tired. And you can see if I hit a unit here, it shows you that red line. That's their attack order. If they have a move order, it'll show you a yellow line when it's selected. If you want to see all orders, you can hold the space bar and it'll show you everything that's going on with your troops, if that makes sense. And missile units, of course, when you hit the space bar, you should be able to see their arc of fire. You can kind of see the arc on these guys. It's in the light red. So same thing there. So yeah, let's say that I want to attack the Parthians, and I'm going to use my walking attack. I've done that. So see how they'll start to approach the Parthians at a walk, and once they get close, they would actually charge. Let me show you another way that you can do this. Let's say that you want all your infantry to just attack the Parthian infantry. You can put them in a hard group by using Control G, and then you can actually just click an attack order on the middle of the Parthian line, and now the AI will control your attack. So these guys are going to move forward and attack, and they'll try and basically line up to the enemy units. It's a little bit screwy sometimes, but it's one way that you can do things and be a little less micro-intensive. Well, let's say Heir, I don't want my guys walking into battle. I want them to charge into battle. Well, just double right-click. And so now my men are going to charge. They're still on the AI group attack. So when they're in this controlled group and you do this, they will attack these targets relative to their position in the line. If I take them out of the group and do the same thing and just double right click one guy, look, they all blob one unit. That's not what you want, okay? So don't do that. Does that make sense? Hopefully you are getting some ideas here on how to do some attacking. Just kind of watch and see. Those cataphracts are about to come out and wreck my Hastati. Or no, never mind, they're noble horse archers, never mind. So let's just watch, see if my men succeed. This will kind of give you a demonstration. The yellow means it's a move order. Don't worry if it's not red, because again, when you gave that attack order, the AI is controlling your men up to the attack. So see, now all of my lines turned red, and my troops actually have attack orders. Now, but notice this unit actually picked up an order on the noble horse archers, and it's going to get cleanly countercharged by the Parthian swords. That's one of the downsides of doing this group attack, is your guys might pick up an attack order on the wrong unit. See here how these two units picked up an attack order on one for whatever stupid reason. So again, you have to be aware of that, and you can use the space bar to see those attack orders and to make sure that you get them right. So let's say that I wanted to correct them. I can now take these units and click the proper attack orders, but for the most part, the computer got them right. So anyway, that's just one way to see how things go here. Anyway, that's all I need to show on this one. That's kind of how to move your armies, how to issue attack orders, and a little bit more about those initial options that you need to know. Anyway, Heir of Carthage, signing off for now.